Hello. So today we're going to talk about living in the present. And as far as my videos go, I really feel that this is one of the more important topics that I'll ever cover. Learning to do this, learning to live in the present is one of the most beneficial things I've ever learned. I've always been kind of naturally inclined to do it, but the Matrix and the way that it programs you to live is very much against that. You know, they want you to have all these goals and all these expectations, but then when you have all these goals and all these expectations, all you do is set yourself up for resentments later, because life is never going to unfold as we expect it to. And learning to live in the present, you know, you can have goals, absolutely. And then living in the present is taking an action every day to work towards attaining those goals, instead of just sitting there and daydreaming about the goals day after day after day and then actually never doing anything to attain them. And people are like, well, I live in the present. You know, it is the present. But do you really? I mean, you know, a lot of people are filled with anxiety and worry. And anxiety and worry is typically thoughts about the future or thoughts about the past. But all we ever really have is the now. The now is the most present time. And the past is gone. If you've been a horrible person up until today, you can decide to change today and change the rest of your life. And, you know, it's kind of weird. You know, maybe my topics are a little bit weird. You know, my channel is conspiracy / truth seeking, and then it's also self-help and metaphysics. You know, the random metaphysical topic thrown in, you know, every now and then. But the thing about awakening is that you have to reevaluate, you know, every one of your entire reality changes, the whole construct, how you view things, everything changes. So you have to reevaluate everything. So why not take that time to do a proper process to transform yourself into a better person, and then that makes the existence here a little bit more tolerable. And I do not give advice that I have not tried. If I, you know, now I might have read something somewhere and share it with you and say, you know, this sounds good, I might try it, you know. But I mean, I wouldn't give you advice. I wouldn't tell you to do something that I'm not at least willing to try. But typically, when I give advice, I've actually done it myself. So I've written here an article that I'm going to read. And I do have a blog on Tumblr, and I post some of my show notes to, because, you know, I do these shows and write these things out, and it's like, man, I don't want to trash this. You know, what can I do with it? So I started a blog on Tumblr, and I will link it, and you can follow that. But not every show. I don't do notes for everything. Sometimes I do wing it, or sometimes my outlines are just random little notes. But oftentimes I write something out in a publishable manner so that it sounds good when I read it, and it helps me keep down the crazy filler words that I like to use, like and anyways and like and things like that. Okay, so living in the present. Do you find yourself overwhelmed with life all the time? Constantly worrying about an event that's taking place next week, or stressing about a bad interaction with someone at work today? This is where learning to live in the present can be beneficial for reducing stress and finding more happiness in your life. First things first, let's discuss why living in the present is important. Living in the present leads to 1. Less stress. By thinking about what you are doing at the present moment, you remain focused on the task at hand. This reduces the time spent worried about the future or thinking about the past. We must learn that the present moment is always our most valuable moment. All we ever have is the now. The past is gone and the future may not come. We must learn to be grateful for and enjoy the present moment rather than spending it lost in thought, dwelling on the past, or worrying about the future. Over time, focusing on the present will reduce your overall life stress. 2. Improved relationships. Living in the present leads to improved relationships. You will be a better friend, partner, employee, and or parent if you are truly present. You will Be a better listener, able to give better advice, and better comprehend situations, and experience more love. Living in the present results in an increased happiness and intimacy in your relationships, which can also increase the mood and happiness of your friends, partner, child, etc. Living in the present can lead to enhanced gratitude. Number 3, enhanced gratitude. When one focuses on the present, that he is more mindful of what he actually has in life. Everyday simplicities bring you joy, and you better appreciate people that are there for you. You may currently be taking many things in your life for granted and not even realize it. Enforcing gratitude leads to positive thinking about your current situation, even if the situation isn't ideal. Happiness is a mindset completely independent of wealth, location, etc. Anyone and everyone can learn to be happy. Living in the present allows one to realize what he has instead of spending time focusing on what you don't have. And 4, increase productivity. If you are being present, that typically means you are getting things accomplished. Many hear the term living in the present and think that that means no goals, but that's not true at all. We still have short-term and long-term goals, but we don't fixate the majority of our time focusing on and daydreaming about these goals. Instead, we're living in the present and we're taking action towards actually achieving them. When actively involved in the present, there is no time to worry about the past or the future. You are instead focused 100% on the task at hand. Living in the present is felt to increase overall mental health and life satisfaction. And in my personal experience, it has been a life changer and all for the better. 5, deeper creativity. And this is living in the present leads to 5, deeper creativity. Whether you're playing an instrument, writing, dancing, learning to paint, etc., living in the present allows you to focus 100% on your art. You may notice something new you haven't seen before or appreciate what you're accomplishing at that moment. You could get better at problem solving or listening to your intuition. Times when we are involved in creative actions, our mind tends to wander. And an individual can have profound moments of clarity while in this state of mind. For example, an answer you have been seeking for some time may suddenly come to you while you are lost in thought painting. You may also come up with new ideas when focusing on the present. If you want to begin to live in the present, it starts with some habit changes. There will be certain places and times that you can focus on being more present than others, especially at first. It is a process. Huge life changes are a process, and don't get discouraged if it seems overwhelming and a lot to handle. Implement 1 or 2 small changes at a time, and once you master these changes, you can add in new ones. This prevents overwhelm, so you don't give up on your process. The end results are well worth your efforts. So 13 topics of focus for living in the present. Number 1, your interactions with others. We interact with people all day long, often every single day. Do you find yourself waiting for them to finish so that you can speak? This is not a great way to interact, and don't worry, we've all been guilty of it. This is known as listening to reply, and that's not a practice that one should regularly engage in or seek to engage in. Instead, one should be listening to comprehend, which is focusing on what the person is actually saying. Even if you don't care about the topic, you would still want the same respect given to you if you had something that you desperately wanted to talk about. Instead of rebutting the conversation in our heads, before it's even over, we should focus on comprehending the words actually being said. Pausing before giving a response is perfectly acceptable. Your response will be more thoughtful if you take the time to comprehend the message before responding. You do not have to have an immediate rebuttal as soon as somebody closes their mouth. You can sit there and think about it for a second. You say, that's really, let me think about that for a minute. It's not that hard. When you want to try being more present in your conversations with others, focus on eye contact, active listening, head nods, smiles, gestures, positive body language. Don't cross your arms. Instead, open them up. Truly think about what the other person is saying. Put yourself in their shoes. Try to envision what they're thinking and feeling. Try to envision it from their eyes. It's called empathy. Give them thoughtful answers, feedback, and comments about what they're talking about. Our interactions with others can be serious, funny, nostalgic, and everything in between. When being present with someone, the point is to get as much out of the interaction as possible. Don't get sidetracked by something else. Embrace the moment. We never know when an interaction with someone may be our last interaction with them.
Hi.
I've had many people unexpectedly die in my life. Focusing on the present will benefit you and your relationships. Hi, sweetie.
Yes.
Okay, during your tasks. Part of being present is having realistic expectations. Being present involves knowing what you need to do, being aware of how much you're likely able to complete right now, and prioritizing your tasks. Don't make a massive to-do list that isn't achievable. You may find being present when completing projects helps you finish them faster and more efficiently. Good job, honey. In your environment. When going places, make a habit of taking in your surroundings. Put down the technology and actively engage in the experience. Look up at the sky or notice the decor at your favorite restaurant. Take in what's new as well as what's the same. Think about why you enjoy being in this place or why you don't. Make a point of looking around in new areas and truly explore your everyday surroundings. You'll probably be amazed at what things you discover that you've not noticed before. Okay, let's see. Number 4.
A cheese.
Yes, sweetie.
A cheese.
Number 4.
A
When you're in a tough situation, do whatever you can to resolve the problem right away. If there is conflict in your life, don't shy away from it, hoping it will disappear. It won't. Instead, do what you can to discuss and resolve the situation and do what you can to make amends. If the other person doesn't want to resolve, you'll know that you've addressed the issue and that you've done your due diligence of trying. Number 5, look at life as an opportunity. Wake up each day looking for opportunity. Look at it like a clean slate, a brand new day to create memories and opportunity. Anything could happen. And when something does go wrong, look at the opportunity it created instead of the frustrations. There is good in every situation, but sometimes we do have to look for it. Anger and frustration are going to happen, and problems are going to arise. Typically, though, when we examine our problems, they aren't as terrible as they could be. Everything happens for a reason, and when you start looking at life that way, you see more opportunities. Number 6, acceptance. Accept who you are. Love yourself for who you are. Accept where you are in life, what life has given you, and the mistakes that you've made along the way. Don't hate the person you are now because you aren't yet the person you wish you were. If you don't learn to accept yourself in your present situations, you'll always be chasing the future. Accept things as they are, especially yourself. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, that's very nice. Do what makes you happy. Do little things that make you happy every day. Okay. Oh, yeah. They can't see your shoes on there. That's very nice. You leaving? Okay. Mom be done in about 5 minutes. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're sweet. Excuse me. She's good. Poor little thing. Sometimes she's hell on wheels. Okay, where am I at? Number 7. Do what makes you happy. Do little things that make you happy every day. These don't have to be big things. Often little things have more meaning. Don't wait for things to happen to you, though. Make things happen. I'm not saying to feed an unhealthy addiction of McDonald's French fries every day, but make a list of all the things you enjoy, big and small, and refer to it when you're in need of a pick-me-up or just because you want to. Life is supposed to be about seeking joy. If you don't know what makes you happy, then it's time to do some soul searching and possibly explore some new experiences or activities to see if you can find things you do enjoy. Number 8, let go. Let go of everything. Let go of people who have wronged you and learn to forgive. Let go of your past mistakes and don't beat yourself up. Let go of the past, accept it, learn from it, and move on. Be present in today. Deal with the challenges of today. Declutter and get rid of things you don't need, like home decor, clothes, or even toxic people. Purge negativity from your life. Life is too short for unnecessary misery. Number 9, what's your mindset? Work on your thoughts and attitude to create a positive mindset. Let go of negative thoughts and influences in your life. Don't let your mind wander in the past, wishing for coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't wish for something so much in the future that you forget to live for today. Put your mind here in today. It is perfectly fine to have goals, but keep them realistic and goals that are actually attainable. Take some action each day towards achieving your goals. And it's also okay to even have dreams and for them to be completely unrealistic, but just know that they're unrealistic and they're just for fantasy and for fun. I mean, don't, expect those things to happen, Number 10, serve others. Find time to serve those around you. Get lost in someone else's life instead of your own. Don't look back on life and wonder if you did enough to help other people. Don't get so busy that you don't have time to help someone else, especially if someone asks you for help directly. Life is something we all have to go through, whether we like it or not, and we should do it together. The every man for himself attitude has been very bad for humanity. Today's masses have mental health problems, addictions, and hard times on an unprecedented level. We must remember that odds are good life is hard for everyone in some fashion, regardless of race, gender, socioeconomic status, or location. People often wish to be wealthy, but hell, the wealthy perform ritual abuse, for goodness sake. No one is exempt from suffering in this world. Be kind, forgive, and help others. It will enrich your life. We get back what we put out into the universe. Put out positivity and help others to receive those things back when you need them. Number 11, be okay with change. We are in an ever-changing world and live constantly changing lives. Don't get hard set in your ways or belief systems so that you can't move on or adjust to changes. Try to view change as a new opportunity, a chance to grow, or a time to learn new things. Adapting to change allows you to live more freely and to be more open-minded. Being open-minded is incredibly important, for virtually everything you were taught in school was a lie. And if you are already, or you become one of the individuals fortunate enough to wake up, then open-mindedness will become a critical life skill. Being hard-set in any belief system is just not wise, for a wise man knows that we don't know anything. 12, laugh. And I had said 13, but there are only 12 of these tips. Laugh every day. Laughter does wonders for your health. Don't take life or yourself too seriously. Learn to laugh at yourself in life's awkward situations. Find time to laugh, have fun, and don't worry about laugh lines. And a few tips to help you start living in the present. Start small. Decide which parts of your day that you're going to be more present. Perhaps while eating breakfast, during a walk, watching your kid's baseball game. Set reminders on your phone. This will help you remember to bring yourself into the present moment, starting by setting 3 present time alarms a day. Put your technology away. Going for dinner with a friend, don't check your phone. Passing time waiting for someone, try reading a book instead, or looking at the environment around you. People watching. Decide what you want to accomplish before starting on an activity. Knowing what and why you want to do something will make it easier to stick with being mindful and accomplishing your task. I know that this sounds like a lot of learning. It sounds like a lot, but learning to live in the present is worth some extra effort. It's really not. I mean, if you do follow these tips and you once you start seeing the benefits of living in the present and how it affects your mental health state for the positive, I think that you'll probably consciously want to live more in focus in the present. You have to you begin to learn to be comfortable just being. Meditation is a great tool. Getting out into nature, just connecting with yourself. I mean, it ultimately, all of this stuff ties together. It's a process to become a certain, more present type of individual. Because we're here for the experience, and We really need to be involved in our experience, to get the most out of the experience. Okay, so start with a few small changes, master those, then add in a few more. Don't get discouraged if things don't go exactly as you plan. Keep trying. There is actually no right or wrong way to make many life changes as long as you have the right procedure to follow. Any can be adapted for your individual needs if you so choose. And you put in proper effort. It's really, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Try not to have too many expectations for how life events will go. Living in the present is learning to let life unfold and trying to enjoy the ride. Thanks for watching, and if you like my channel, please share and subscribe. I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers because I'd really like to interact with the audience, do like live streams and stuff. So, I appreciate every single viewer, every single view, and like and comment and all those things. Thank you very much. They all help me out. And have a great day.